As I said this morning, towards the end of the show, we are hoping that we're going to take off right where we left off. And the exact thing is happening. Elephants right here at the waterhole, as I predicted. And that's because it's a very, very hot day today. There's going to be elephants here until late afternoon. And we're going to relish into that. My name is Chris. And Gert is with me today on Cam-Ops. Behind me, Odie's just taking a day away. He'll be back tomorrow afternoon. So Gert's standing in. Nice to have Gert back on Pridelands. And we are watching elephants. And for now, that is our plan. We are in shade. There is no need to move anywhere for us at the moment. And there's a little baby, a little calf, in between there somewhere. There it is. And they're probably just going to hang around a little bit like the others and then leave. And then the next bunch will very likely arrive. So the herd of buffalo we saw this morning was about 1 kilometer west of us. Maybe 1.5 kilometers. So I would not be surprised if they also arrive here at some stage. However, the sun is starting to slowly but surely creep closer to the horizon. Still very high, but not nearly as intense as it was a little earlier. So I'm kind of like starting to think whether I should go and look for those buffaloes. And there's also a bit of a breeze that started now. That's just cooled things down a touch. I think temperature wise we're starting to get into a good zone here to perhaps drive around a bit. That first hour, that's brutal. And I think we have done well for the first hour at the waterhole, or close to an hour, not just yet. We managed to find our herd of buffalo. And they're very much in the same place where we left them this morning. Maybe a couple 100 meters where they've moved. And not much of a view. We're going to have to wait until they get up. It's still relatively hot. And I estimate that the heat, it's actually still quite hot. And we can clearly see they're still mostly in the little bit of shade that they could find. Spread out all over the place. And we'll wait until they start to move, because they will almost certainly start heading straight towards one of the waterholes. And from where they are, it could be anyone, either Indulge Dam, which is east of here, or Leopard Dam, which is north of here. It's probably more likely that they're going to head to Indulge Dam, which is closer, a little bit. Birds Africa is amazed at how well these animals blend in with their environment. And it's vital, especially if you're a prey animal. I mean, buffalo, yeah, one could argue they blend in, but they don't really have anything that camouflages them because they're big, bulky creatures.
But they have almost certainly come from a waterhole, and you can tell that from the fact that they are, yes, they are wet. Very good, everybody. How can you tell that they are wet? Well, because they are very dark. And as I've said many times before, their skins are not entirely waterproof. And therefore, they are like a semi-absorbent sponge. And they therefore take on a darker hue when they have been swimming. And I suspect that this entire herd immersed itself in the waters of Buffelshoek Dam, which is not too far over the sort of top of your picture there, just over the next rise. It is difficult to imagine a cat in sweeter repose than this one finds himself. I wonder if his brother is perhaps slightly more gormless than he is, because he has been lying in the sun, boiling his already fairly small brain. Bella, he certainly looks like he wants a tummy rub. I am reticent to get out of the car and go and give him a tummy rub, largely because there are other people coming to the sighting, and I would hate for them to arrive and find a human being tickling this lion's tummy. Especially as I may be dismembered. And I think that seeing that sort of thing when you're on safari is, I just don't think that's what anyone wants, really.
Oh, we have a much better position and a wildly exciting one. I'm trying not to freak out because it's that exciting, and I'm trying not to move. Again, we're in a tricky signal spot, but we're also in a tricky spot with Mrs Wig looking at us. It's the first time we've seen her sitting on the spot where she normally nests. Guys, is this the moment? Has she laid eggs? Is she getting ready to lay eggs? Is she checking it out, making sure the scrape is still good? Oh, I'm so excited right now. This was the best idea ever. We've been waiting to see when she's going to start spending time in this little scrape. And finally, the day has come. Now, she's exceptionally well camouflaged. And this is what she does with her day. When she's got eggs or she's getting ready, she sits here. Ooh, much better view than of the male. So now we know this is Mrs. Wig. Mr. Wig was the original owl we saw. A really cool fact for the day, because I find this mind-blowing. There was a single female that was resident in the same territory for more than 21 years, with the same male for 13 and a second male for 8 years after something happened to the first. 21 years, everybody. This is just the beginning. I'm so excited right now. We've got 3 big male giraffes, big bulls, slowly making their way down towards the dam. If we get to see giraffes drinking, I will be so happy. It's such an unusual thing to watch, and giraffes are so unique looking. I mean, our plan for the afternoon is to see what all we can find at the dam. It's so hot, right? We were not expecting giraffes to come down straight away. We can hear the distant rumbling of elephants. So we were thinking next up is definitely going to be elephants. Surprise! Giraffes. You see how carefully they're circling, not really spending much time drinking. They're being quite careful. I suppose another disadvantage would be it's quite tough to get comfortable to sleep. It's quite tough to groom yourself as well. Oh, we're going to get a double giraffe drink. Oof, that's a tough one. You can see it's the younger bull on the right. He's still not feeling confident enough to drink. He wants to make extra sure. Oh, Pangolin Boy, very cool name, love it. And I'm loving the Jerrys too. Giraffes are so different, and seeing such bold markings on their bodies even. Is it just me, or are these boys looking extra handsome today? Extra bold patchwork patterns. And to see them drinking, even better. This has totally made my day. Watch the little flick when he pulls himself back up. Watch how he has to flick his head to get the momentum flowing through his neck to pull him back up. Oh, the little flick. There's always a little splash of water at the end. We've got June's cub out at the den. Oh my goodness, it's my first time meeting this little one. This is amazing. Oh, I'm so excited right now. Hello, little one. Look at your pretty spots already. I can't believe it's the first time I'm meeting this cub and it's already got a spot pattern. This is wild. If it wanted to move off now, it 100% would, because we're not using a spotlight, so it's completely seeing everything as it normally would. It would just hop away, like they so often do. But something is making that nose work overtime. I can hear a hyena far in the distance. What an epic adventure today has been, from the elephants all over, and even one set, two sets, away from the river and away from the dams. It's been wonderful. The lions as well, of course, and the giraffes coming down to drink. The Wig family and the hyena cub. I'm very happy. Right down to the last little steenbuck and the last little scrub hare. It has been wonderful. I hope that the steenbuck hasn't run away in that time. Yes, it's still there. But a massive thank you to everybody who has joined us on another epic sunset safari live in the South African bush. Please come and join us tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Central African time, for our sunrise safari. Hopefully the luck continues and it bubbles over into another beautiful adventure out in the bush. I'm hoping as well that maybe we might find some spots. But in the meantime, it is time to say goodnight and grab some dinner. So have a good evening, and we'll see you in the morning.